Welcome to 6 Emotional Storytelling Techniques that Move Audiences. Storytelling is more than just words, it's about connecting with people on a deeper level. Did you know that stories with emotional content are remembered up to 22 times more than facts alone? That's right. Emotions are the secret sauce to unforgettable storytelling. In this video, we'll reveal 6 powerful techniques to make your stories resonate. Each chapter is packed with unique insights and strategies you won't find anywhere else. For example, did you know that the use of sensory details can increase audience engagement by 43%? Or that well-placed plot twists can boost engagement by 40%? We'll start with the heartbeat of conflict, where you'll learn how to create tension that keeps your audience hooked. Next, characters that breathe, will show you how to craft multi-dimensional characters that feel real and relatable. But that's just the beginning. We'll dive into the symphony of senses, teaching you how to engage all 5 senses in your storytelling. Then, the echo of silence will reveal how strategic pauses can heighten emotions and suspense. In Emotional Mirrors, you'll discover how to reflect your audience's feelings through your characters. Finally, the twist that tugs will show you how to craft surprising yet satisfying plot twists. Get ready to transform your storytelling skills and captivate your audience like never before. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: The Heartbeat of Conflict. Welcome to the first chapter, The Heartbeat of Conflict. Conflict is the driving force behind every great story. It's what keeps us glued to our seats, eager to see what happens next. But how do you create conflict that truly resonates? First, understand that conflict doesn't always mean big battles or epic showdowns. It can be as simple as an internal struggle, a moral dilemma, or a clash of desires. For instance, in The Great Gatsby, the conflict is largely internal, with Gatsby's obsessive love for Daisy driving the story. Conflict should be personal. Your audience needs to care about the outcome. Think about Breaking Bad. Walter White's transformation from a mild-mannered teacher to a ruthless drug lord is compelling because the stakes are intensely personal. Statistics show that 70% of people are more engaged in stories with strong conflicts. This makes sense because conflict mirrors our own struggles, making the story relatable. One effective strategy is to raise the stakes gradually. Start with a minor issue and build it up. In Harry Potter, the initial conflict is Harry's struggle with his identity, which escalates to a battle against dark forces. Another tip is to make your protagonist's goal clear. What do they want, and what stands in their way? This creates a clear path for your story and keeps your audience invested. Conflict can also be external, like in Jaws, where the threat of the shark creates tension. But don't forget the internal conflicts of the characters, which add depth and complexity. Use conflict to reveal your characters' true selves. How they respond to challenges shows their strengths and weaknesses. In The Hunger Games, Katniss's decisions under pressure reveal her resourcefulness and compassion. A unique fact. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, stories with clear conflicts and resolutions are 22 times more memorable than facts alone. This underscores the power of a well-crafted conflict. Chapter 2: Characters that Breathe. Now, let's move to the second chapter, Characters that Breathe. Great characters are the heart of any story. They need to feel real and relatable. But how do you create such characters? Start by giving your characters flaws. Perfect characters are boring and unrelatable. Think of Sherlock Holmes. His brilliance is matched by his arrogance and addiction issues, making him more human. Characters need goals and motivations. Why do they do what they do? In The Pursuit of Happiness, Chris Gardner's struggle is driven by his desire to provide for his son. This clear motivation makes us root for him. Develop backstories for your characters. Where do they come from? What experiences shaped them? J.K. Rowling created detailed backstories for even minor characters in Harry Potter, adding depth to the world. Dialogue is key to bringing characters to life. It should reflect their personality and background. In Pulp Fiction, the unique dialogues make the characters memorable and distinct. Use body language and actions to reveal character traits. Show, don't tell. In The Godfather, Michael Corleone's calm demeanor contrasts with his ruthless actions, revealing his complexity. Characters should evolve. Their experiences should change them. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo's journey leaves him deeply scarred, illustrating the cost of his quest. Make your characters relatable by giving them universal experiences. Love, loss, fear, and hope are emotions everyone understands. In Inside Out, the portrayal of emotions as characters is a brilliant example of this. A unique fact. According to a study by Princeton University, when people read about characters' experiences, their brains respond as if they were experiencing it themselves. This shows the power of well-crafted characters. Include minor characters that add depth to the story. They can provide different perspectives and support the main character's development. In To Kill a Mockingbird, characters like Calpurnia and Boo Radley enrich the narrative. Quotes can add authenticity to your characters. Use memorable lines that reflect their essence. For example, Atticus Finch's quote, "You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view," defines his character. Chapter 3, The Symphony of Senses. Welcome to the third chapter, The Symphony of Senses. Engaging your audience's senses can make your storytelling more vivid and immersive. How do you use sensory details effectively? Start by describing what your characters see. Visual details help set the scene and create a mental picture. For example, in The Road, by Cormac McCarthy, the bleak, ash-covered landscape paints a vivid picture of a post-apocalyptic world. Don't forget sounds. What do your characters hear? The rustling of leaves, the distant howl of a wolf, or the hum of a city can add layers to your story. In The Silence of the Lambs, the chilling silence of Hannibal Lecter's cell heightens the tension. Smells can evoke strong memories and emotions. Describe the scent of freshly baked bread, the stench of garbage, or the fragrance of blooming flowers. In Perfume, by Patrick Susskind, the protagonist's obsession with scents drives the narrative. Touch is another powerful sense. Describe textures and temperatures to make your scenes more tactile. In Of Mice and Men, Steinbeck's description of Lenny's fascination with soft things adds depth to his character. Taste can also enhance your storytelling. The bitterness of coffee, the sweetness of a ripe apple, or the saltiness of tears can evoke strong reactions. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the vivid descriptions of the various candies make readers crave them. Using all five senses can make your writing more immersive. According to a study by Emory University, reading sensory-rich descriptions activates the same brain regions involved in actually experiencing those sensations. This makes your story more engaging. Mix sensory details to create a fuller experience. Describe how a character feels cold wind on their skin while hearing the distant crash of waves and smelling the salty sea air. This layering of senses can transport your audience into the scene. Chapter 4, The Echo of Silence. Now, let's move to the fourth chapter, The Echo of Silence. Silence can be a powerful tool in storytelling. It can create tension, highlight emotions, and emphasize key moments. How do you use silence effectively? First, understand that silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's the space between words, the pause before a revelation, the quiet after a climax. In No Country for Old Men, the Coen brothers use silence to build suspense and intensity. Use silence to create tension. A well-placed pause can make your audience hold their breath. In The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the silence during the suspenseful scenes heightens the anticipation and fear. Silence can also emphasize emotions. A moment of quiet after a character's outburst can highlight their feelings more than words ever could. In Atonement, the silence following key revelations underscores the gravity of the situation. Strategic pauses in dialogue can make conversations feel more realistic and impactful. People don't always speak in a continuous flow. They pause, think, and react. In Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino uses pauses to make dialogue more natural and engaging. Silence can convey unsaid thoughts and feelings. Characters don't always need to verbalize everything. In The Great Gatsby, the silence between Gatsby and Daisy speaks volumes about their complicated relationship. Unique quote. Alfred Hitchcock once said, "Drama is life with the dull bits cut out." Silence can be one of those dull bits that, when used strategically, makes the drama more poignant and impactful. Use silence to highlight key moments. A quiet moment before a significant event can build anticipation, while silence after a major revelation can give your audience time to process the information. In Breaking Bad, the silence before intense scenes amplifies their impact. Incorporate silence in action scenes. Pausing the action momentarily can create a stark contrast and make the following chaos more jarring. In The Dark Knight, the moment of silence before the hospital explosion makes the subsequent destruction more shocking. Silence can also be a form of communication. Characters can use silence to express defiance, fear, or contemplation. In To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus Finch's silent patience in the courtroom speaks louder than any argument. Use descriptive silence to enhance the atmosphere. Describing a quiet, deserted street at night can create a sense of unease and suspense. In 1984, George Orwell's descriptions of silent, oppressive environments heighten the sense of dread. Chapter 5: Emotional Mirrors. Welcome to the 5th chapter, Emotional Mirrors. This chapter is about how to reflect your audience's emotions through your characters and narrative. How do you tap into universal emotions to create a deep connection? First, understand that emotions are the core of any story. When your audience sees their feelings mirrored in your characters, they connect more deeply. Think about Inside Out, where each character represents a different emotion, making the story universally relatable. Use your characters to mirror common experiences. Love, loss, joy, and fear are emotions everyone understands. In The Fault in Our Stars, the character's struggles with illness and love resonate because they reflect real, intense emotions. Create emotional arcs for your characters. They should grow and change emotionally throughout the story. In Toy Story, Woody's journey from jealousy to acceptance mirrors feelings of insecurity and growth. Show emotions through actions, not just words. In The Kite Runner, Amir's actions driven by guilt and redemption are powerful because they reflect deep emotional conflicts. This makes the story more impactful. Statistics show that stories with strong emotional content are more memorable. According to a study by the University of California, stories that evoke emotions are remembered 22% more than non-emotional stories. This highlights the importance of emotional mirroring. Use emotional contrasts to create depth. Happy moments followed by sadness can heighten the emotional impact. In Up, the joyful opening montage followed by loss creates a powerful emotional experience. Dialogue can be a powerful tool for mirroring emotions. Reflect your characters' inner feelings through their conversations. In Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth Bennet's witty and sharp dialogue mirrors her intelligence and strong will. Unique quote. Brené Brown says, "We are emotional, thinking beings who feel safe and connected when we feel seen and heard." This applies to storytelling too. When your audience feels seen and heard through your characters, they connect more deeply. Chapter 6: The Twist That Tugs. Now, let's move to the final chapter, The Twist That Tugs. Plot twists are powerful tools that can leave a lasting impression on your audience. How do you create twists that are both surprising and emotionally satisfying? First, plant subtle clues. A good twist should feel unexpected but inevitable in hindsight. In The Sixth Sense, the twist is shocking but makes sense once you review the clues sprinkled throughout the film. Build anticipation. Foreshadowing can create suspense and keep your audience guessing. In Gone Girl, the narrative structure and shifting perspectives build up to a shocking twist. Keep your twist character-driven. It should emerge naturally from your character's actions and motivations. In Fight Club, the twist is rooted in the protagonist's psychological state, making it feel authentic and impactful. A unique fact. According to a study by the University of California, Berkeley, plot twists can increase audience engagement by 40%. This is because they challenge the audience's expectations and keep them hooked. Make your twist emotionally resonant. It should not just shock but also evoke strong feelings. In Atonement, the twist is heartbreaking because it reveals the true cost of the character's actions. Use misdirection to your advantage. Lead your audience down one path while subtly preparing them for the twist. In The Usual Suspects, the narrative misleads viewers until the final, unforgettable reveal. Unique quote. Agatha Christie said, "The best time for planning a book is while you're doing the dishes." Sometimes, letting your mind wander can lead to the best twists and turns in your story. Test your twist for plausibility. It should be surprising but also make sense within the story's context. In The Prestige, the twist is mind-bending but fits perfectly with the story's themes of sacrifice and obsession. Don't overuse twists. A story with too many twists can feel gimmicky. Focus on one or two major twists that enhance the narrative. In Shutter Island, the single twist at the end is powerful and memorable.